Hello and welcome back to my lazy, sometimes Sunday afternoon live stream. I'm your host, Morgan Hazelwood, as most of you know. I might have a couple people drop in later, but for now, you get me. So we are in the, last Sunday of April already. That means we're January, February, March, April, four months almost done with the year. That makes us a third of the way through the year already. I don't think I'm ready for this. So I have personally a pretty big week coming. I am post-vax as of Tuesday is when I hit my 2 weeks post-vax. But since they say 10 days is good, I have family coming up to visit tomorrow. So while some of you may be writing and working on projects, I am probably going to be doing A, some gardening because I think we're past the last frost, and B, baking because we're celebrating a 10-year-old's birthday and we're visiting with a 10-week-old baby, and my cousin is going to be visiting and her baby is due 2 days ago. So might show up at any moment whatsoever. So very excited. I may have mentioned last week I was getting my patio redone. The concrete pour for Monday got rescheduled after I went off on them for the options not being what I was told. So they canceled the pour until I was happy, which on one hand is helpful. On the other hand, if they'd called me before canceling, I could have made a decision on what I wanted the concrete to look like in 20 minutes, and we wouldn't have had to wait another week and a half to schedule a new concrete pour. So a little annoyed on that one. But yeah, so Monday, mom and aunt and sister's family and cousin's family visiting. So we're going to have about 10, still keeping it small, but every household post-vax, or at least everybody's past the first shot. My cousin is... her second shot was due like tomorrow. So, but she's been very careful. She's, 9 months pregnant. So yeah, that's super exciting. And then Tuesday, my mom and aunt go home. Wednesday, the concrete people show up at like 7:30 in the morning and get started on my patio. That evening, I have my first back massage in like 13 months, and it will be glorious, and my shoulders will no longer touch my ears. That's the hope and dream. So yeah, very, very full week for me coming up. So let me know in the comments, what are you working on? Do you have anything exciting and thrilling coming up? I'm sure this week will also include a grocery store visit, shock of shocks, because the pantry is getting a little bare and it's slightly less of an ordeal, although I will still be masking in public because you don't know where those people have been. I mean, really, it's probably should have been wearing a mask anyway with all those people. And my county is still pretty high for its number of people with COVID cases, and they haven't confirmed that you can't carry after you get the vaccine. They're working on it. It looks like the science is promising, but until they give me the go-ahead, I'm going to try and be a little more cautious than I may have been quarantine. So yeah, today's been pretty busy already. I swung by some friends and loaned them my weed dragon. It's basically a miniature flamethrower made for killing grass and stuff on concrete and in gravel and that sort of thing. But I mean, it's called a weed dragon, so I had to have one. You can get one overnighted from Amazon. So if you are lacking in, flamethrowers, just pop the limiter off. Propane sold separately. Something about they don't ship propane through Amazon on, FedEx trucks. Shock of shocks. So popping into the comments, I see we have a Doc and an Andy. Hello, and welcome. Doc is cheering the third of the year done. I don't think I'm ready. I'm not really cheering that, but I am acknowledging, let's go with. And Andy cheered, woo, post-vax. Doc is still working on editing his Kindred of Kali. He's down to the last 6 chapters. Snaps, nicely done. And Andy is still working on his novel rewrite, and he will be masking well into the year, even after the vaccination. Yeah, I may have bought another cute mask to wear to conventions, after I got my second shot, because I imagine it will definitely cut back on con crud, which anyone who's ever attended a convention, it's the propensity of a large number of people to, come down with some sort of sinus congestion, fatigue after a convention, partially because you're going several days with minimal sleep and bad food, and partially because you're crowded in with lots of people, and a lot of them, even if they should have stayed home, are like, I already paid for the ticket and the hotel room, I'm gonna go. And so you end up with a lot of germs and a lot of, it's basically like being a first-year kindergarten teacher going to a convention. Luckily, most of us have better hygiene and are not as inclined to sneeze directly into your mouth as a kindergartner. But, not everybody, unfortunately. So, Doc, catching imported viruses from other parts of the country. Con crud. So true. I forgot. Many people travel for conventions outside of their local region, many of them visiting where they used to live and friends and things and that sort of thing, or just going because the guests are amazing, which is also a thing. So anyway, oh no. Jennifer Brown said, just found out that her cousin who is on the front lines now has it. Oh, I hope she has a very mild case and that she ends up with all the symptoms clearing out quickly. Oh, that's rough. So close to post-vax. I want everyone to get vaccinated and recover and get those antibodies fully online as soon as possible. I do know, there are definitely people who have legitimate reasons to wait. My friend with lupus, her doctor has asked her to wait until the second wave because she has an autoimmune disorder. And so they want to be extra careful with that. So she's looking like not till August for her. So, but yeah, definitely. Doc, and I think the rest of us, Doc speaks for all of us. Sorry to hear that. I hope your cousin recovers quickly. So Jennifer says hi too. So yeah, that was a little stressful of a wake up. I hope she gets to stay home the whole time. There's no talk of hospital or anything like that. So Rob Roy, hello and welcome. I was about to say he helps me, but no, I occasionally help him moderate one of the very large Facebook writer support groups. So yay, super excited. You're getting your vaccine this coming week. I think this is your first time at my live stream. So hello and welcome. Sometimes I have company. Sometimes I just talk to myself, and y'all are very patient and, okay with the fact I'm talking to myself. We're all writers. I think most of us talk to ourselves more than maybe non-writers do, or at least we have a good excuse when we do. I believe the reason my ex and I got a cat was so that he could talk to the cat instead of himself while he was job hunting. But yeah, so Jennifer says she also wants everyone vaccinated if they can be. Her sister is waiting because of her pregnancy. My cousin, who was due on Friday, her doctor told her to go ahead and get vaccinated, and my sister got vaxxed. Her second vaccine was this past Friday, and she's 10 weeks out from having the baby, and so the baby's getting all the, immune system antibodies through, nursing. So check with the doctor. Some doctors are going ahead with, as long as it's a low risk pregnancy, obviously follow your doctor. So yeah. Oh, it's your second. Rob Roy has made it before. Okay. I thought I vaguely, but I wasn't sure. So, Doc says that, oh, yeah, they just put out a general recommendation for pregnant women to get vaccinated. Yeah. And of course, other medical factors may apply. I know Doc managed to get his, so super excited there. So yeah. Well, are we here to be productive, or are we here to listen to Morgan talk to herself? I mean, obviously you're here to have me talk to myself, but maybe we should do a sprint. I'm planning on, let's see, what should I do this first sprint? Should I dig holes for my blackberry bushes, or should I start baking, I don't know, brownies or muffins? Don't know. I'm trying to decide. So Doc's second vaccine is on the 7th, so that's awesome. Jennifer says that the pregnancy is high risk, so that's why they're waiting. That makes perfect sense. You don't want to stress the system if you've already got issues. I will be making the cranberry orange muffins and the brownies. I'm just trying to decide which to do first, because obviously we need brownies to celebrate 10-year-old's birthday, but we might also need muffins for like breakfast and to send home with the cousin who's about to have her baby at any instance. I'm just trying to decide which first. Maybe the muffins, because I think the brownies will be too tempting. Maybe. So okay, I put stuff in the oven, and while it's baking, do the gardening. Is that what we're deciding? It sounds like people are voting food first. So I'm going to start with the muffins, and while they're baking, I'm going to do the gardening, and then I'm going to wash my hands very, very well, and then I'm going to do the brownies after the muffins come out. I think nobody's sad with this. These are all from mixes because Morgan is not a baker. She does own a hand mixer after watching 3 seasons of British Bake Off. It took me a year after that to actually use it, but I own a hand mixer now, not a stand mixer, but a hand mixer, because I'm also not a gardener, but I've been informed and advised for my blackberry bushes. They want as much sun as possible, and the sunniest spot in my yard is right near the fence, and there's a drainage stream almost that goes under the fence. And so I've been suggested and bought 60 pounds of sand to go in the bottom of the hole for each of the blackberry bushes. And then the bush itself is going to sit up from the ground a little, just so it won't be sitting in water too much. So I should have enough sand and everything else to make this happen. So that's the plan. And I, as of yesterday, now own a spade. I did not own a shovel, which, as a grown woman who has her own house, probably should have already owned a shovel, but I've managed to get away with borrowing them, and I probably had one when I lived with the ex and just left it with him. So, these things happen. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Let's do a 20-minute sprint. I'm going to add that to the stream, and then I'm going to go bake in the kitchen. I might even flip the camera around if y'all want to watch me bake. So that could happen. Let's go ahead and get started in 3, 2, 1, boom. Hello, and we're back. My alarm didn't make noise, or maybe my speakers are turned off. Oh, give me a second. I'm going to talk and commune with my own sound system. I just plugged my microphone back in, and when I plug in my microphone, my computer thinks that it's got a spot for a headset to get plugged into it, and it assumes I am listening to my microphone. So hopefully y'all got to hear the lovely end of Sprint music, because I sure didn't. So I have the muffins in the oven right now. They have 10 minutes and change to go. I don't think I'm going to be doing gardening in between baking, because that's when the sprint is over and I come back to talk to y'all. So let me know how your sprint went. And also vote in the comments below if I need the dark chocolate brownies or the triple fudge brownies. Hard decisions, I know. Obviously, everything comes from a mix because I'm not a baker, as I already said. So, oh, goodness. So yeah, now I'm getting hungry because these muffins smell delicious. And I found out while reading the box, as one does, that if I want, I can make a glaze for it. And by glaze, it means take a couple tablespoons of orange juice and some powdered sugar and stir that sucker together. And I own both of those things and they're not expired. So this could happen. Do I want them healthier or sugar glazed? They're orange cranberry muffins. Let me know. So let's see. Popping into the comments, Andy says his writing was mixed with getting details about Cumberland, Maryland, and he votes for the triple fudge. Doc got 2,147 words edited because he is an editing machine and clearly writes a lot cleaner than I do. And currently his heroes are mingling at the ball. What type of music? Is it classical? Do they have something steampunk here? I'm very interested in what sort of music would be at a fair in a steampunk, or at a ball in a steampunk story. So Jennifer got some sculpting done on the computer. I'm assuming that's like 3D modeling sort of stuff, because she's not a sculptor otherwise. And the vote also was a triple fudge. So apparently it's a question. It shouldn't have been a question. It is Ghirardelli triple fudge. So I do like dark chocolate myself, but I know my mom's more of a milk chocolate kind of girl. But the birthday girl is likes the good quality chocolate that her mom tries to keep, i.e. my sister tries to keep separate for herself. So my niece is above, Hershey's Kisses, because that's not quality chocolate. So, she's got to steal mom's truffles and, caramel sea salted dark chocolate. I don't know, handcrafted, whatever. Why don't I have salted caramel, sea salt, handcrafted chocolate bars in my house? Clearly, poor life choices. I think that's what we're going with. Doc says at the ball, we have a mix of traditional Indian and European music. I'm assuming you're discussing European music of the 1800s, because, there are, I would assume, steampunk sort of instruments. So maybe they have, a steam-powered electric guitar or stuff like that they could experiment with. So, and yet another vote for triple fudge. I'm sorry for ever asking. Clearly, the fact that I own one triple fudge Ghirardelli and two dark chocolate is because I'm wrong and y'all are right. So, chocolate. It's tasty stuff. I just wanted to tell y'all how excited I am about this family visit. I don't think anybody's going to eat half this stuff. Secondly, I started off preparing for my mother's visit, and she is of the run the vacuum for 10 minutes and you're good. Maybe start the dishwasher, whatever. My mother's not the type to go around being like, there's some dust on this shelf in this room you never use. No, my mom is not judgmental at all. Although my dad once, my parents have been separated since I was like 3, and my dad once said, I don't understand why your mom needed to clean before friends came over, because they're friends and they should accept you as is. But I get it, because for me, cleaning is how I show my excitement and anticipation of people coming over, even if I know they're not going to judge me. So things I have done in preparation for my mother's visit: clean my garage. Are we planning on going into the garage? No, not at all. But it's been cold until now, and the Christmas stuff was haphazard, and the gardening stuff was scattered, and leaves kept blowing in every time I brought my car in, and so it was dirtier than I like it to be. And so now everything is actually put away, and things are clumped by seasonal, whatever. It's much nicer, much nicer. The second thing I did to prepare for my mother's visit was take the dry eraser to the ceiling in my sunroom. Why would Morgan do such a thing, since her mother's not inspecting her ceilings for cleanliness? Well, I had some water damage, and I've been meaning to get around to doing it. So that way I can see if more water leaks in, because it's cleaned and, it knocks back the stain a lot. It doesn't make it invisible, but it definitely knocks it back. So it's just on my list of things to do. And since I cleaned the garage and could get to the, foot tall ladder, I went ahead and did that before washing the guest sheets and remaking the bed, which is only 2/3 made. I still need to put the pillows in the pillowcases. So yeah, I prepared for my mother's visit by cleaning the ceiling and the garage she won't even go in. So, and I started on my super secret house project, mostly because I was at the store and they had the supplies. I'll talk about it more later once it actually happens. But I may have spent 45 minutes doing something utterly ridiculous last night for perfectly reasonable reasons. Or something perfectly reasonable for utterly ridiculous reasons. Something. Hello, I see we have a Kelly here. I hope you're having a lovely Sunday afternoon. Doc has reassured me that his steampunk universe does not have lightning guitars yet. It's just classical music, which is still great stuff. I mean, now I wonder if some of the musicians that may have died early in our world lived longer in steampunk world. So always interesting to see what you can twist and play with when you're vaguely historical, but get to play with the fantasy aspect. So Jennifer says, either way, I bet I had a lot of fun. I did. Are we talking about me cleaning or baking? I'm a little confused, but yes, I amused myself. So luckily that bar is pretty low for amusing myself. Just catching Kelly up since he popped in a little late. I am baking in anticipation of my mother and aunt and local family descending on me tomorrow, because I can. In non-pandemic times, the two people who visit me the most are my bestie, who is allergic to dairy, and one of my other dear friends who is allergic to gluten and soy. And so all these baking things, I can't eat them all by myself. So I need an excuse, and I need people visiting who can eat baked goods. So yeah, definitely using a kit. So Kelly said, yes, another day in the life of Superman. He's enjoying a salad after getting in from a bike ride. Oh, nice. I hope the weather's lovely down your way. It's nice out here, although a bit windy, definitely. So do we feel like being productive? I've got, a minute and a half till the timer goes off, so I can keep talking to myself. This will be the second time I've seen my mother and my aunt since the pandemic started, because I quarantined and had a visit with my mother for Thanksgiving, and my aunt came over and we had a distanced, masked visit for about 45 minutes. Other than that, I have not seen them. Yeah, so I'm very, very excited and looking forward to it. Although my cousin is currently planning on coming, but she does have a doctor appointment right before lunch when she's planning on coming over. So if they tell her, oh, hey, you're in labor, she might not show up. So very excited. Kelly says, yes, the weather's windy down where he is. It almost blew him off his bike going uphill. Oh my goodness. I grew up in Tidewater, Virginia, which anything more than 2 degrees is a hill. So it's very common for me to like hop off a bike and just push it when I'm going up a hill. So my timer is going off. So let's go ahead and get another sprint in the books. I'm going to go ahead and add it to the stream. And 21 minutes, I might start some brownies, triple fudge as the vote declared. Have a lovely sprint, and I'll be back in a few. And 3, 2, 1, boom. And we're back. I was doing some baking in my kitchen, Devin, in case you were confused why you were looking at a stove during a write-in. So hello and welcome. You might have seen in the comments, I polled you guys. You all said triple fudge, and I made the dark chocolate brownies instead. I swear I was trying to follow y'all. I meant to. I was following the directions on the box for the triple fudge. And then I reached for the sauce, like the fudge packet, and there wasn't one. And I realized it's because I opened the other box because I wasn't paying attention. And so my family is going to have to suffer through Ghirardelli dark chocolate brownies instead of Ghirardelli triple fudge brownies. I'm a cruel and heartless person, and I'm very sad to acknowledge this. But yeah, so lucky for y'all following along at home, my kitchen is on the other side of my desk. So very easy for me to at least wave at y'all while I'm baking. So hello, MM Ward. Hello and welcome. I was just telling everybody I was baking brownies in anticipation of a family visit, #post-vax tomorrow. So, and I accidentally made the dark chocolate Ghirardelli brownies instead of the triple fudge. And Doc says I should just save the triple fudge for when he comes to visit post-vax. I mean, the days are coming so soon. I'm sure once June happens, I'll just like have people over every week because my patio will be done and I won't be working Balticon and my yard will be gorgeous and 80% of the people I know will be post-vax and it will just be glorious. Absolutely glorious. So let me know how your sprint went. For those of you just tuning in, let me know what you're working on today. I love to know what everybody's doing because, you know, if I didn't care, I would just, you know, sprint by myself without chatting with people. But I am a social creature. Shocking, probably none of you. You might have noticed just a smidge. So Doc, as always, is putting the rest of us to shame, having edited 2,170 words. Such clean scripts. Oh my goodness. His lordship has been accosted by a number of PG Holyfields. I don't know what that means. I mean, I've heard of PG Holyfield, but I'm a little confused. So Emma Ward says, we can just make ganache from chocolate, sugar, and cream. Well, one of the few things I actually cook is, or bake, or whatever, it's on the stovetop, is fudge, and my family loves my fudge. So maybe I just don't want them to think that I'm giving them brownies instead of making them real fudge. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, so... Doc says it will make more sense when I read the book what being accosted by a number of PG Holyfields means. So Andy says, I'm going to have to remember how to socialize with people again. He is still working on the second chapter of his book because he needs to do more rewrites. He got 752 words redone this sprint. Nicely done. I know when I'm in an editing phase and it's actually going smoothly, I can do about 10 pages an hour. So, you know, Doc is going at my speed of, let me copy edit or line edit this polished draft speed. So, Emma Ward today went to get the grocery order and the livestock feed and hay and just got back, but did edit 4 chapters on the drive to and from the city. Oh my goodness, fitting in that productivity all over the place. I am taking, if you saw my blog or my vlog post, I'm taking April and May just off from my writing. Although I am planning on getting some more queries out, but my my space fantasy has been a drag, and I'm just not feeling it. And I want to have time to be bored and, want to get back to my writing. And I know a lot of writing is just butt in seat time. And clearly I have scheduled that. But the writing I have done feels like I'm phoning it in. And that is very different than, forcing words out during NaNoWriMo. I feel like I'm showing up just to say I showed up. And the phoned in words just, they're not great. They're very disjointed. They're going to need a lot of work to massage into place. And that's just not what I want to be doing. And so taking some time away. I've been doing this writing thing since 2013. It's not like, I don't have longevity. It's not like I don't know how to finish something, but I definitely needed a break, I think. So that's what I'm doing. And since I have family visiting tomorrow and they completely don't care, I'm baking and cleaning the house anyway. So yeah. Angie says he wishes he was copy editing. He's doing some deep rewrites. And Emma Ward says self-care should always be a priority. Legit. Definitely. Because, I'm the only one setting these deadlines, and I shouldn't. I want to do this, not feel obligated. And so that's where I am right now. And that's why I'm taking a break. I'm pretty sure that's why Sarah took this month off from her Friday night live streams. It's just, it became too much work for a hobby. And, nobody's paying me to do this. Although if you would like to, I have a tip jar, blah, 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 whatever. So Nightbot thinks we should be stretching. Oh my goodness. Just gonna pop every elbow, do a couple twists. Oh, that was good. Okay. Okay. Feeling a little better. Getting the stretch in. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now. These brownies have another 29 minutes to go. So, and they smell really good, really good. Devin says, Nightbot gave me a tip right there. I should probably take 30 seconds or more to stretch out those kinks. Yep, I try to listen when Nightbot tells me to either hydrate or take a stretch break, because I'm 95% water, and it's very easy for me to dehydrate. So I think here in my part of Virginia that today might be the last long sleeve day this season, because this coming week is talking about the 80s, which for, you Celsius people is, come on, Google, 80 Fahrenheit to see is 26, 27 degrees. So 26 to 30 is, our highs next week. So it's definitely looks like we're going into the pre-summer season here in Virginia. So that's kind of exciting. But yeah, so this is probably my last time wearing this sweater today. Oh, hello, Sako. I hope you had an excellent nap. It definitely has been that kind of day. I may have started off my day bragging about having gotten 9 hours and 15 minutes of sleep, with two of them 2 hours worth of deep sleep. Thank you, Fitbit, for telling me it was deep sleep. So yeah, today was a great day for catching up on sleep. Highly recommend, 100% do it. So, well, anyway, I was thinking maybe we should do another sprint. I might start digging some holes to plant my blackberry bushes. So this time I won't be flipping the camera around. The muffins needed 15 minutes, but the brownies need 40 minutes. So they're gonna going to be in the oven for at least another sprint. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to go ahead and sprint in 3, 2, 1. Boom.
Howdy, neighbors.
Hello, and we're back, and I have a Sako now.
For the last, 20 minutes.
Yeah, whatever. I got one hole dug. I should have gone a little deeper, but it's got about 2-3 inches of sand in the bottom. Oh, I'm planting blackberry bushes.
Yes.
Right? But the sunniest spot doesn't have the best drainage, so I was told to put sand in the bottom of the hole.
Yeah, that's wise.
And to mound it up a little. But apparently you're supposed to mound it up a little anyway for blackberry bushes.
Oh, okay.
So I've got 2 of them, and I'm very excited. I only have one hole dug because while I am awesome, I am not that awesome. It was one sprint. And I spent half of it picking up. So when I cleared out the butterfly garden, last month,
yeah,
all the weed sticks that were 4 or 5 feet long, we piled on this next to the fence on that side with the thought that I would take it out in garbage bin loads for the people who pick up trash or yard waste.
Sure.
And so the last of it needed to go into the bin. So I spent half of that loading it. And I think I might have some twigs in my hair, but got that all cleared away. And the wind immediately knocked over the trash bin, which is why it wasn't out by the road already, because they're dead stems and they have no heft to them whatsoever.
Indeed.
But I don't think the landscape or the people picking up waste want me to put bricks in the bottom of the bin. So I'm not really sure how to keep them from blowing over so much. The struggle is real. So what are you up to? I've talked a lot this sprint.
I am partaking in Sam Wicker's promptathon for May.
Fun.
And it occurred to me that I scheduled myself to co-host with BC Brown on my birthday.
Oh.
So I had to reorganize my birthday plans to coincide with stream in the evening.
Yeah.
And my the people who were going to come to my birthday who reserved, basically, who RSVP'd, were like, I was like, is it okay if we do it a different time? And they're like, it's your birthday, honey, you can do it whenever you want.
Because you have quality friends who roll with it.
Yeah, I do. I'm really honored to know these people. So I'm being overwhelmed schedulally, and then touched by the kind of people I know.
Yeah, definitely.
Hi, Jenna. Hi, Maggie.
Oh, yeah, let me pop over to the comments. So let's see. While I was out in the yard, let's see. MM Ward said that the Mininettes are looking online for tickets to the Demon Slayer movie.
Ooh.
Kelly said touring my garden. I should register with the tourism department and get a cash for a ticket transaction when it's ready. I'm not doing that much gardening.
Mm-mm.
So Jenna is here. Hello, because Sako's already on it, but So let's see. Oh, I'm sorry you have trouble finding my sprints. I try to have the stream up before I go to bed day of, but it's usually up by at least Thursday if you want to follow it. So I guess this is my shameless plug to hit that like button, the subscribe, and the bell for notifications, or whatever.
Yeah, the notifications work for me. So
yeah, I usually do pretty well with the notifications, unless I have tons of notifications, and I'll just flip. So yeah. Okay, so productivity. Jenna found me from Devin's list. Thank you for putting me on your list. So, okay, productivity. Doc got 2,589 words edited because he writes way too cleanly, clearly, obviously. That's the only
Clearly, answer.
Yeah. His lordship verbally spins and dodges and managed to avoid being trapped in an arranged marriage. And then the Kindred attack again. Doc is editing Kindred of Kali, so.
Yeah.
Kelly's editing a couple shorts, and Andy is now restructuring some chapters and adding some details. Feels like, I'll do some repainting, turned into tearing out the walls and redoing the sheet walk. Okay, you take over. I need to take brownies out or see if they're ready.
Yeah, roger that. I'm also bullet journaling because it's Sunday and I want to set up my week. And it's the first, like May is my birthday month, right? So I'm going to start mapping out my May as well. Andy is now restructuring some chapters. I just talked to my editor, so I'll be doing the same here pretty soon. Feels like my I'll do some repainting turned into tearing out the walls and doing some sheetrock. Yeah, I went in for developmental stuff to begin with, so that was, yeah.
I'll put it in for 2 more minutes.
Devin's listened to everything. Yay! Morgan is awesome. I agree. I'm sure that editing will get worse when I get feedback from other readers. This is still the self-edit to see if I've got holes anywhere. That is what I just finished doing in March with the Flambeau project, or Project Flambeau, rather.
Ooh.
I talked to my editor today for developmental stuff, so I think
I heard my oven is 4 steps behind the camera.
Oh, I see.
When I was baking earlier, just like whoop, with the camera.
So we're thinking our 40K manuscript will be fluffed up to like 60K.
Nice. That's pretty friggin' awesome.
So we got some really great suggestions today in the meeting. And so we'll be implementing them over the next month or so.
That's awesome. Hello, Klacha. I think this is the first time on one of my friends.
Yeah.
I hung out with Sako before because she's cool, but you know.
Early chapters always need a rewrite. Ain't that the truth? Oh my God. For Hope's Chest, I rewrote chapter 1 4 times. So like first chapter, I usually will like just slap something down when I'm fast drafting, and then I'll write the rest of the book, and then I'll go back and rewrite the first chapter.
The first chapter is figuring out the tone and the characters and the voice, and for me at least, and getting all that together and the setting and stuff. I mean, yeah, it's going to introduce what's going to happen, but a lot of time it's more of a, you know, world setting, character setting, you know, because I like fantasy. I don't want to be in the real world. I like my escapism. Is that ice cream or coffee?
It is gelato.
Yeah.
Chocolate gelato.
Yum.
Thank you, baby. Yay. Second chapter is where you start the whole story. Yes. Otherwise, you have chapter 2 syndrome, and that's no good. And then in edits, you cut the whole first chapter. Oftentimes, that is the case. Also, yes, I'm sure he has already gone downstairs, but Mr. Sako is downstairs. Yes.
My brownie stayed cool completely before cutting.
Oh, yeah, that's wise. You need to make sure it sets first.
I mean, technically they're for guests tomorrow, so maybe I won't actually dig into them tonight.
Oh, but how do you not dig into them tonight?
The odds of that happening are, maybe I'll just like put them fancy on a plate so you can't tell there's a couple missing.
That is what I would do. You made them. You deserve the treat.
Right. I'm very sorry. I pulled, you missed it. I pulled everybody. They voted triple fudge, and then I made the dark chocolate ones instead. I didn't mean to. I had both boxes in front of me, and I opened the triple fudge, and next thing I know, I'm looking for the fudge packet, and there isn't one because it's still in the box with the powder.
Oh, whoops.
So Doc is totally right. I need a quality control brownie. Indeed.
And you need to make sure they're worthy of the guests.
Right. Obviously.
Yes.
Obviously.
Yes, obviously.
So Andy says he came from a screenwriting background, so he has to work really hard to avoid the blank room syndrome.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. So.
Because you don't have a background to bank on, when it's not visual. And making it immersive means that you're tapping into the other senses too, not just, visually.
Right. Everybody's voting for me to eat those brownies because apparently I'm only a good brownie baker if I try my baking before I serve it.
Indeed. So can I promote Mandy Lynn for a hot second? Like, she made this book launch planner.
Okay.
That she sells for about $35 a pop.
Oh, wow.
She recommends that you do it per book. Like, you buy a journal for each book. It's a little Instagram heavy when it comes to marketing, but otherwise it's really, really well organized, and it's got a bunch of setup stuff in the beginning. Got your publishing to-do list, your book launch timeline, your expense tracker, your outsourcing, and then it's got a planner by the month. And I went through today and mapped out what the next year looks like for Project Flambeau. So I spent all my spoons before my meeting with my editor. I was like, all right, bye, Andy.
Oh, enjoy dinner. I know we're always buttoned up against dinner time for you.
Yeah, we are.
So. Buttoned up against dinner time for me. Why do you think it ends when it does?
Yeah.
So.
I think I'm going to contact Mandy Lynn and tell her I want to promote her book. Yeah, that I'm loving it. And
awesome.
I also kind of want to involve her in my book tour.
Okay, cool. That's super fun.
Yeah, I want to involve you in my book tour too.
Ooh, I would be happy to have you.
Cool.
So yeah. Oh my goodness. I was outside. I think short sleeves next time I go back out.
That's wise. It's only 73.
Really? My car was saying 65, but so
not if you're out in the sun.
No. I mean, that side of the house is shady this time of day. Mm-hmm. So that helped, but yeah.
Yeah.
It's amazing what you can do in 10 minutes of shoveling. Mm-hmm. It was good down about, this far, and then it kind of turned pretty solid.
Yeah, I gotcha. Rocks and whatnot.
Just really packed clay, actually.
Oh, sure.
So I actually took my hoe out and I'm like, let me chip at this and break it up some. Like you'd think it would be just as easy to, stomp on the shovel, but which I now own. I now own a shovel. I had a hoe, but not a shovel. Very weird. That I've been touching up garden beds, but not much else since the ex and I split.
Gotcha.
Jock says on Kindred of Kali, he's down to the last 3 chapters, which is awesome. And soon he's going to be looking for sensitivity and beta readers.
You don't say.
I unfortunately cannot volunteer because I am very behind on my beta reading.
Yeah.
That was what I was going to focus on this month, and I think I've gotten 10 pages done.
Oh, shit.
So it's okay. I knew, especially, I got a lot of family stuff going on this month.
Absolutely.
Good family stuff, but still,
It's still time consuming.
Yeah.
And
the cousin is due 2 days ago. So any second now, I'm waiting for that call.
Yeah.
So yeah. Very excited.
Is she? Oh.
She's 10 minutes from me. My
right.
cousin.
Well, right.
Yeah.
I didn't realize she should be in the hospital like
babies
now-ish.
Their due date are on time anywhere from 2 weeks to 2 before or 2 weeks after. So it's really a month window. The due date's just dead in the center.
Right.
So the kid's not late or anything yet. She's got enough. And I mean, my most recent niece, Rosie, was a week and a half late.
I was a month late.
Oh, wow. I was a month early, which, for a twin is on time. And mom was in bed rest for like 4 months to make sure gravity didn't help too much. So, and Ward says she's on the last half of her last April beta, and there's a light at the end of the tunnel for a couple days.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I hear that one. So, yeah, what do you have coming up this week?
It's a good question. I'm definitely hanging out with Sam on her stream and doing the prompt thing. I'll probably open up to betas sometime after my birthday.
Sure. Is your birthday this week?
My birthday is on the 15th.
Okay. I thought it was a little further out. So.
Yeah, it's a little further out. So I'm like, I gotta make the Google Forms and stuff like that this week.
Cool. Awesome. So.
Especially since my favorite beta reader is a little on the occupied side, so.
Sorry. I should be able to, I just need to buckle down and sit down. One of them is ridiculously long. It's 600 pages and not double space. Double space between paragraphs, and there's a lot of dialogue, but still.
Yeah.
The other one is a little dense to read, but only 88 pages. So should be able to knock them out. I just
have to do it. Yeah.
I've had no focus this year, which is part of why I'm taking a break,
That's wise.
Yeah. I want to, take a break long enough that, I miss this and I'm bursting with ideas when I come back.
Yeah, that's wise. That and you have so many family things going down and work never stopped and
right. I still have day job and the convention I help with is Memorial Day weekend. So that's most. Yeah. I wasn't even going to try to do anything in May, ever.
Yeah.
So yeah.
You are also invited to birthday things on the 15th, which is a Saturday.
I will be post-vax as of Wednesday, so.
Cool. It'll
Yeah.
probably be digital anyway.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Well, keep me posted. So.
Cool.
Oh, it's time for outros.
It's time for outros. Howdy, howlers. I'm Sako Toomey, also known as Voit. I write horror, and I'm a witch, and I'm a graphic designer. And sometimes I combine those things, like when I'm launching a book. So if you are interested in learning how to market as an author, you can find me at Sako Voit, and drop on by sometime. I would love to see you.
Right. Okay, and I'm your host, Morgan Hazelwood, and thank you for coming to my lazy Sunday afternoon live stream, where I've been baking up a storm and digging holes. So I don't know how lazy I was this week.
I wouldn't call it all that lazy, honestly.
No. So let's see. I vlog, and I podcast as Morgan Hazelwood, or writing tips and writerly musings. I'm sharing tips from the pros and my own writing journey towards publication. This week, over on the blog, you can hear me talking about how I am looking for boredom. I am taking a break from my writing, waiting until I'm bored of not writing, and then I'm going to dive back in, hopefully about June. So that's my big news there. So thank you all for coming, and I'll be back again, probably doing some querying next week. I think, I need to get some more queries out. So have a lovely end of the month. For all of you doing Camp NaNo, good luck. You've still got a couple days left to get those words in if you're not there yet. And for the rest of us, let's go have dinner, and chill out. Thank you all for coming. Bye.